Tzu Prime has been added to the simulator. I'm going to jump right in. But before we do that, if you want to do this yourself, what you need to do is join this Discord, subscribe to the Patreon, only costs $1, and then you can get your hands on this simulator. You get yourself access to the Crystal Tech Simulator with the newer versions, and it's really good value. A lot of good people in this Discord, a lot of good analysts, people who have meaningful discussions about the pairings, the mechanics of the commander that are coming into the game. So I would highly recommend it. So shout out to Specco and his community. And this is how it looks when you open up the simulator. So it looks a bit scary, but don't worry, we're gonna go through it together. So we're gonna go on the left side. We're going to go for, well, let's say people are using Greece as like the best one. I'm just using it for the special troop type. So Greece, we're going to do defense token, and we usually do this at maximum VIP. And what I want to know about Sun Tzu is, I want to see how my initial pairing is going to do, which is Sun Tzu with Luce. I think it makes a lot of sense, and if you're someone who has been running Luce Alex like I have been, you may have not been getting the results you probably remember getting in previous KVKs. So we got different buffs here. We got Home Kingdom, which doesn't really see much play. Then we got Seasonal Conquest, which is now 30% all damage. Then we got Arc of Osiris. So if you're using this to test out some pairings in Arc of Osiris, this is how you do it. We're gonna stick to Seasonal Conquest because this is all KVK related. And actually, I should have been doing this on the right side, my bad. But like I said, the green side is the right side, the red side is the left side. So I'm gonna do this. I was going to do infantry mirror anyway, so I want to see how that does. So I'm going to be doing this amount of troops. Here you have your gear, you have your talent build. I think this is the standard build for Spite commanders. And now you can put your equipment manually, but you can also use it like this, and you can tweak around however you want. So for Sun Tzu, since he has a 900 rage requirement, I would recommend going for the horn to really capitalize on that. And I think just sticking with the classic horn ring for this setup makes a lot of sense. So just for completion's sake, let's do all special talents. So here we got everything we need. And now on the other side, we're going to do BQLC as like to see how well it compares. So Greece, defense, troop count, talent builds, yeah, pretty much the same. Everything is going to be the same for this one. So let's go. Now, we got formations and inscriptions. So obviously we're going to go for pincer. I truly believe we're now entering the norm, which is going to be 2 pincer infantry marches. And it's going to be relevant for quite some time. I don't see us getting a new infantry formation anytime soon. The new formation they've been talking about probably going to be related to more to archers, but we shall see. We got no artifacts, we got no museum buffs. Well, I believe we have set everything up. Let's see how he does 1v1. So let me double check. Open field. Open field. Alright, let's see. Now you can keep at this pace, you can also speed it up, and I usually speed it up. And I expect Sun Tzu to do really well in like a 1v1 situation because his nuke and his skill cycle, he feels like a Huo, so I'm not surprised. I will not be surprised if he ends up winning a lot of duels. So 30k to 22k, 8k difference, pretty convincing, but let's do it again. Looking pretty convincing This is like 14k difference, almost 15k. Very good. So I'm not too surprised, as you can tell by my tone. But the value this March brings is double 5 target AoE. So in a 1v1 situation, that does not show it, but this one is a lot more closer. So this has been more about certain procs going by Chi's way, maybe with those stacks he provides from his third skill. But as you can see, in most cases, Tzu and LC do the trick. So let's see how Wallace does instead. Because Wallace also has that amplifying effect. So this one seems a bit closer. 5k difference, not bad. This one going to be quite bad for the Wallace. 10k difference. Let's do one more. We're going to do three duels per pairing. And looking pretty convincing. So 10k overall. Wallace not having the best of times, but it is to be expected. He is a tier below BQ, LC, and probably Tzu. Like Tzu is the better commander, no question about it. So we got LC, we got Wallace. Who could else be paired as the infantry commander? That does smite. We could do CJ, but I don't expect anything great from him. But if you're coming into Seasonal Conquest, I guess you might have worked on CJ. But as you can see, the difference, it looks quite clear. 17k. Yeah, CJ can't deal with this heat. Even though he has damage reduction on his skills, he cannot deal with this damage. And it makes sense. It makes sense. So why I prefer Tzu with LC is because of the rage generation. You will be able to be consistently doing your skill cycles every 6 seconds, which for the open field is huge. And you're going to be generating a lot more with the AoE that Luce provides, everything that comes with it. And if you have a lot of drums and horns in your lineup, you're going to be firing off your active skills so frequently, which will generate you a lot of good reports. And I feel like Baichi can work with many other commanders, but I feel like since Luce does not have the smite tree, I think it is like a natural pairing with Tzu. So now let's see. How about we do Tzu now with Baichi. Tzu does well with nukers, so let's see how that does. And oh yeah, this is the first loss. And what a convincing loss that is. Wow. Is that a fluke? Okay, this one is a bit more closer. This one is 5k difference, nearly 6. But Baichi does have the higher nuke. He does more damage. Luce is a bit more tanky, so it makes sense. But I didn't expect this much of a difference. This is like Wallace levels of difference. Yeah. Looking pretty convincing. Pretty convincing, gotta say. So Tzu Baichi seems to be doing the most damage. So if you do Tzu Baichi, we're left with Wallace Luce, which I haven't been a fan of. But I think it would be a more balanced result if you do Tzu LC and Baichi with Wallace, for example. I think both of those marchers doing similar output is better than having one really good march and the other one just, you know, not having the best of time on the field. So Tzu Baichi, very strong. Very strong. Let's see. Any other pairing that could work with this commander? I mean, Hector does smite damage, also single target, so I guess maybe we could try Hector, just to see. Yeah, not doing great. Hector not doing great, but Hector, like I mentioned in my earlier videos, he is designed to be secondary to a calorie garrison for the combo damage. But he doesn't do well. He doesn't do bad. I think he does better than maybe Wallace, which is kind of wild to say, since he does bite damage. Yeah. So this one has been very close. So Tzu Prime Hector could be an option for the whales if they have Hector to use for garrisons, if they want to have, but I'm pretty sure most of them have Luce at least, so I think sticking Hector in a garrison situation just makes more sense. Okay, so let's see. Tzu Primary. How does Tzu Secondary do? So if you do Luce Primary, Tzu Secondary. Okay, this is the build. Yeah, this one is for the field. Let's see how that does. The attack tree is inferior to the smite tree in my opinion. And it shows, but it could be a fluke. Let's see it again. Losing probably the worst report I've seen. That is crazy. So yeah, using you as a secondary does not give you the things you want. So if you want to keep in primary, that 900 rage requirement is really good, and keeping that rage activation and the buff he provides with the skill activations is really good to have as a primary. Okay, so now let us go and use something else. Let us go to calorie. So we're going to go and use gang with Achilles. Achilles. I'm blind. There he is. So with Achilles, well, what do they use for calorie? I'm just going to be neutral. Just go with Germany. Might not be the best choice, but Horn Ring, KVK bonus. This looks like the right build as well, although we could go for this one. Could go for this one, I guess. This one doesn't do you much against infantry. Skill damage does not include. This one, I believe you deal more damage. So I'm gonna go for this one. For the inscriptions, we're gonna go for Delta. We're gonna get all the special inscriptions. And I believe we are set. And go. Wow. No way. No way. Something's not right. Something is not right. There can't be. No way, dude. What? This can't be happening. I don't think this is going. I don't think this is correct. There's no way it loses this bad. What? No. This doesn't feel right, bro. How about we do Archer primary now? Archer. I'm blind. There he is. Wow. It destroys calorie. Absolutely destroys. Even with Luce, I'm not even gonna put Bite Chi. Bite Chi is going to annihilate it. But let's do it anyway. This should be really. Oh my god, what? What is happening? This is like nearly a 1 to 3 ratio. That's crazy. Wow. Okay, so calorie. I mean, let's try Huo for like science. So Huo, yeah. Skill damage. Because he also has the 900 rage requirement, or maybe even 850. He could be doing it better, I get. Nah. So Calorie is getting absolutely cooked. So I'm not sure if they should be getting cooked this bad. But since infantry counters Calorie, it shouldn't be too surprising. But I am too surprised, to be honest with you. I thought Gank was going to be harder to beat, which is weird, man. This is crazy. And I'm not even gonna show how it goes well against archers. So archers. Okay, let's do Calorie. Any pairing that I missed. Attila 1v1 doesn't really work. Huo Belisarius. Not doing enough. So yeah, pretty much you have for the field, you got those two pairings. That could put some resistance. But when it comes to archers, I mean, in a 1v1, I don't think this is going to do much. But let's do YSG. We got the inscriptions. Yeah, this could work. And then we have put Ottoman. Let's see. Yeah, this seems to be broken. Is there any other march that could actually beat this combo? Because everything I tried hasn't been even close. The only thing that has been close was the actual infantry garrison. Not the garrison, the Sun Tzu Baichi versus Sun Tzu LC. That was the closest matchup. So infantry mirror. So if you want to beat Sun Tzu, you're just gonna bring your own Sun Tzu. This feels like. Yeah, this, like I said, this is a 1v1. Do not take it as gospel. This is just to give you an idea of how it should perform when it comes into the game. Obviously, you're not going to be doing 1v1 duels in most cases in actual KVK, but like I said, this is just information that you get ahead of time before he actually is available in the game, so you know what to roughly expect. I think this is, if you phrase this as the definition of this simulator, I think it makes perfect sense. And in a lot of cases, it has been proved correct. Okay, so for archers, what else we got? What else is relevant here for the field? Not much else, I gotta tell you. I can do Zhuge Liang as a secondary, but will that do enough? I doubt it. Although, too fast. So it's destroying everything, which is good news for infantry fans like myself. I'm really looking forward to using these two marches on the field, Sun Tzu LC and BQ Wallace. I feel like this will be really the time to shine for infantry, and I believe for the rally as well. I believe Ivar with Scipio Emiliano is going to be such a good rally because Ivar does some AoE, and AoE in a rally situation gives you a lot of sevs because you also hit the marches around the structure. So you hit those reinforcing, you can get some disgusting reports, and we've done that in our KVKs. We use Scipio Emiliano's with Luce, And we got some absolutely sick reports just from people trying to join the flag, the fort. So having AoE on a relic commander is a nice, very nice quality of life. So I'm going to make him a separate video about Ivor, so stay tuned for that, stay subscribed. But let's see, what else have I missed? So everything we've tried so far loses against either LC or BQ. Anything I also haven't done, which is relevant. I mean, leadership doesn't really have any good except Hector. We tried Hector and it failed miserably. But I think it's a fair conclusion to say Tzu is going to be meta. He's going to be, well, in a 1 March scenario, I want to see how he does in a murder ball scenario in actual game. But if it continues to be similar to this, he's going to be busted. He's going to be crazy strong. And I want to see how he does compared to this results what I have, because this is frightening. This is unlike everything I have actually tested before in this simulator. So this says something. I've been on this simulator for like 2 years now, maybe even longer. And I haven't seen something like this yet. So thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one, where I'm going to doing the Iowa rallies. So stay tuned.